Wrestling is a way to make money, whether it's a contest or whether it's a performance. And if the money was in the right spot, that's where the match would go. And some people lost matches that they could have beaten the other guys in 30 seconds. But if the money was there, they would do that and get the next train and get out of town, you know. And there was kind of a jungle out there.
Make yourself noticeable. That's my whole career, to make the people notice you.
Immediately, the people thought that anyone that you saw on TV was a movie star. That kind of visibility was very, very good for anyone, particularly if he was a showbiz guy, like some of them, with the fancy robes and the various things. Years ago, it took about 6 months to popularize a wrestler that really draw some important money. With TV, they did it in 2 weeks. Rogers, I think, was the best performer we've had in our game for about a 20-year run. The best we had as a performer. Not wrestler, but performer. The guy could really move and can really get his story across. And made a great deal of money doing it.
Buddy Rogers, one of the greatest showmen in the business, always kept himself in immaculate shape. He could just walk down the aisle, the people wanted to kill him. There's something about his personality, his gait, the way he walked, the arrogant, the blonde hair. He always had a suntan.
Buddy Rogers, he had something to strut about in the ring because he had a beautiful natural body. And he'd walk around the ring. He had something to be proud of, to show off. And the ladies all loved that, and so did the men.
Acrobat. Sort of acrobat, but he was a soccer player, a non-wrestler, but a very good athlete, and not a bad guy. I liked him all right. I wrestled him twice in a garden, and sold out both times. He did acrobatic things and so forth, which he was very good at this thing, but well, that doesn't make a wrestler.
It was well-liked, but I didn't care much for the fans, so I just went out of my way to be obnoxious, and I would tell them what I thought of them. And they cut and stabbed me 21 different times. They threw acid on me, and I had a brand new Lincoln convertible. They set it on fire in San Bernardino, California, because they loved me.
The name Moolah came from my manager, Jack Pfeffer, when he says, "Why do you want to wrestle so badly?" And I said, "Well, I want to make the money, the moolah." He says, "Well, anybody that can beat 13 girls in one night is fabulous. So I will call you the Fabulous Moolah."
Everything has to be sold. You have a wrestler, and you have to sell him. So how do you sell him? You package him up, and the greatest thing, of course, is television. You go into a market where there's no television wrestling on TV, you couldn't draw. You could put all the radio and newspaper work into it and spend a lot of money, but you wouldn't draw. You had to have the television.
I've seen a lot of guys that have been very good athletes and very good wrestlers, but maybe not have the ability to communicate and relate to the fans when they're on television, and they invariably are less successful and make less money than somebody who's not that great a wrestler but has the charisma that transcends through that TV screen and that the people can relate to. Those guys are more successful and make more money.
Hulk Hogan, non-wrestler. For a man that's marketing himself and did very, very well in this world, I give him maybe a 9 or a 10 for the marketing. And for wrestling, I'll give him a 1 or a 0. And he doesn't know one hold. That leg drop he uses, I had a grandmother, she could do it better. He's not a bad guy, I'm not saying that. He's just not a wrestler.
1960s started the era of the super heavyweight, guys who were 300 pounds or better. At one point in my career, I got as high as 440. Promoters were of the belief that people would rather see the big bodies flying through the air than the small ones. And they were right.
Midgets were very popular when they first started, just like the lady wrestlers. You bring them in once a year, you'd sell out. So good we'll bring them twice. So they'd bring them back 2 times a year, and they'd still sell out. So then it got to be 3, 4, 5, and the people just got tired of it. And after all, you eat steak every meal, you get tired of steak. And that's the same thing with the women and the midgets.